Hello, my friends. My name is Paul, and welcome back to A Calm Touch of Fantasy. And today we are talking about two nonfiction audiobooks that I've recently listened to. And those are I Am Malala by Malala Yousaf and 10% Happier by Dan Harris. Now, this won't be a normal review. This is just going to be me talking about those books. If you want a more detailed review, check out my written reviews below. I Am Malala is a story that almost everyone is familiar with. It's about a young girl that is standing up for her right to go to school in Pakistan, and she ends up getting shot by the Taliban because of it. I've always wanted to read this or listen to this because I wanted to understand more about Muslim culture. I like religious studies things, and so I wanted to listen to this just to get her viewpoint on the world and people around her. So, what's interesting about this is that she goes through her entire life and talks about her life as a school student and loving education, loving to learn, and talking about where she lives. And at first, it's just a very uplifting story about a young girl that just loves to read. But then the Taliban comes into play, and they come into power. And the first thing that I want to talk about that I found extremely interesting is the way she explained how the Taliban came into power in her valley. So they set up this radio station nearby, and this radio station would broadcast every morning and every night. And the people in the area would listen to this broadcast because it was one of the few um, Islamic broadcasts that talked about Islam. And so at first, it was just like the basic general beliefs of Islam, and a lot of people would listen to it. As it got a little bit older, and as time went on, though, the radio station started to say more radical things, more conservative things, and the people in the area believed it because what this radio station would do was they would say how great people are that would follow the beliefs that they're talking about. So they would say, so and so and his family have decided not to go and buy DVDs anymore. And so they would say their family's name and that they're blessed and that they're going to heaven. But then if it's another family and they're buying DVDs, for example, they would say, so and so's family have gone down the wrong path and are going to hell because of this. So you can see how that really could influence people in the area to follow these more radical beliefs because they don't want to be ostracized by their own neighbor. They don't want other people to know that they're doing these wrong things in their opinion. And it's just a way to really create a lot of fear in this society. And I thought this use of propaganda was very interesting and kind of opened up my eyes because I always wondered why would people even follow what the Taliban believed? How could they even say it's okay to believe these more radical ideas? But after listening to this, I can really see how and why they would end up believing what they ended up believing. And so another thing that was very interesting to me was being able to better identify the differences between a radical Muslim, a like normal Muslim, and a more progressive Muslim, and what each of them believed. And Malala's family, for the most part, is rather progressive, and they're always pushing forward the education agenda. Her mother, though, was a little bit more conservative, so she would probably be considered like a normal Islamic woman. And then there were the more radical believers as well, that the neighbors or certain people like that. And I thought this was important to listen to because it puts a frame of reference in my mind when I listen to or watch the news, and I learn about Islam. I learn about some of the horrible things that happened in the name of Islam to really like distinguish between the radicals and the normal believers. Yeah, I just think that's really important. Like, I knew these things before, but having that frame of reference with Malala's life and having examples just made it that much more clear. And so I enjoyed that audiobook and I ended up giving it a 4. The other audiobook that I listened to was 10% Happier by Dan Harris. Dan Harris is an ABC TV news journalist, and this is basically his memoir. At first, I thought this was going to be an entire book about meditation, but it's more of a memoir than an entire book about meditation. It's Dan Harris's ordeal as a TV journalist, growing up, getting his first job, moving on to ABC, and the struggles that he had with anxiety once he got to that level, because he's like a super competitive person. And I found that part interesting. If you don't find the whole TV journalist thing interesting, this one might not be for you. And then once he got into his job as a religion investigator, he was very much a skeptic, and he would go around and interview people and ask them really hard questions, and he was trying to just make it all sensationalist and really tries to go for the ratings, tries to catch people in lies and things like that. But as he is doing this, he's realizing how much of his own life is wrapped up in his anxiety and his issues. And he starts reading about mindfulness and how to use his mind to overcome these feelings of anxiety. And he was also like this huge drug addict and just had a lot of issues. And so, as a skeptic, he looked into mindfulness meditation and he started to do meditation. And it was really difficult for him, like it is for most people. And he really got into meditation and he went on this like 10-day trip, which was the best part. Him going on this 10-day meditation trip and the ups and downs of this trip, that was just a great part of the book. And it just really talks about his journey with meditation and how he changed and how he talked to other people about it and just how it changed his life and who he is as a person. And more importantly, it showed a skeptic's viewpoint on spirituality that doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Usually, religious books are from the perspective of someone that believes wholeheartedly. So it's nice to read something that has a spiritual aspect to it, and it's from a skeptic, and he ends up, enjoying meditation. This book got me back into doing my own meditation. I used to do meditation quite a bit. It helped me with issues that I've had in my life. And now I'm back into it, and I'm loving it. I have always found it to be fantastic, a way to really focus and clear the mind and not get so anxious and upset about things. So I really appreciated that book, and I ended up giving that one a 4 as well. So both books were fantastic. I really liked them a lot, and I feel like a better person from listening to these two books. And I hope to apply what I've learned from these books to the future. Thanks for watching. If you've read these books or listened to these books, let me know. If you have anything you would like to add, go ahead and add it. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.